Do you feel like you're not exactly where you want to be in your business, in your practice, or in your life? If so, stay tuned. Welcome to Transformational Messenger TV. My name is Ron Kokia, your host of the show. Last week, we spoke with the amazing Rick Hansen, who helped us to understand that no matter where we are in our journey, whether we're on fire, focused, very clear about our vision, moving forward, or we're in this place, we're in deep inquiry, we're maybe even confused, letting go a part of our past and trying to find our new direction. No matter where you are, you're in the perfect place. And today we're going to take it a little bit deeper by working with Rick on this amazing experiential exercise that will take your feelings of the past and your feelings about your future and bringing it to center so that you can get a perspective on your life. So you can know and understand that you're exactly where you need to be. Without further ado, here's Rick.
This exercise can be useful for whatever season you're in.
Oh, really?
And winter is often a time when we're particularly looking for some tools that can be helpful.
Yes.
And it's not an exercise for an answer, but it's an exercise often that can. We talked earlier about how there's three things that can be helpful to pay attention to when you're going through a big change.
Yes.
So this actually gives you a little peek into each of those.
Will you remind the audience those three things?
Yeah, so the three parts that we talked about, one is we talked about feeding the fire, really giving attention to the part in you that's the passion piece. And then we also talked about fear, which is a reality in winter. Anytime we're moving towards our calling, fear is a part of that. So it's working with that. And having some compassion for that. And then the third part is really the spiritual guidance, getting the perspective, being open to wisdom and open to support, and really letting our calling be a co-creation rather than an act of will.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thanks for that reminder.
Yeah. So this is just a little short exercise. When we talked about recording this, there are some parts of it that you're going to want to take more time with than we're going to do today. So you can definitely pause this video during that section as you do this yourself. So feel free to do this as we do it, but you also may want to come back to it later and give yourself more time because there's 3 steps in the exercise. And the first part is to pick an area of your life right now that you're wanting some insight about. So it should be just one part of your life where it's like, okay, I'm feeling torn maybe in that area. That would be a good one to choose. So as I walk us through this, you're going to do the exercise and apply it to some area of your life. And your listeners can also be applying this to theirs. I like how you often remind people that if they're driving, wait until you're stationary. Okay, so pick that area in your life that you'd like to focus this exercise on. And I often do this standing up. We're not going to do that now, but I often do this standing. And when I take a small group in it, we're often standing. Because you're going to imagine that you're standing exactly where you are in that part of your life. And you're on this cycle. So you're standing on the rim of the cycle, kind of facing towards the middle. Just exactly where you are in this part of your life, that everything that's true right now that's just exactly what's true. And you close your eyes and kind of just center, get comfortable enough so you could sit or stand comfortably for the exercise. And you put your arms out to the side a little bit. And what we're imagining is that here as we stand right where we are in this cycle in our lives, and right where we are in that cycle, that those arms are kind of on the side of that, of the circle. To begin with, we kind of shift our attention over to our right hand. And this hand, you might even make it into a fist or like it's holding something. Because this is the part of you that's feeling uncertain, that maybe is a little tentative or nervous or doesn't feel ready in this area of life, doesn't feel ready to move forward. And as I say those words, you let yourself begin to experience that part of you, the part of you that's maybe scared or nervous or so let yourself actually step into those feelings without second guessing them, without any talk back. Just allow yourself to experience more fully than you've let yourself so far. Experience this part of you that feels hesitant, that might feel scared. And actually let yourself experience and feel that more fully than you've allowed yourself to. And if this part of you could speak, it would have something to say just to express how it feels. And so internally, just hear it out. Really let it speak and hear it out. And give yourself a few minutes for that. And take whatever time you need for that. And once you feel like you've fully stood in and experienced this part of you, this part of these feelings, and they've really had their say, now you're going to let your energy shift across your body over into the left hand. And this hand is open and it's reaching. And this is the part of you that is so ready for what you want to move towards, that can taste it, that has energy for it. And as I say those words, you start to become aware of that. And let yourself feel that. Give it all of your attention without any argument. And let yourself step into and fully feel that excitement, that energy, that readiness. Step into it. And if this part of you could speak, it would have something to say, just to express that readiness, just to express what this part of you wants and feels. And let it have its say. And take whatever time you need. Feel free to pause and take whatever time you need to really just fully step into that, feel it, and let it speak. And once you've done that, let your energy shift back. And right now it's shifting just right to center. And even let your attention and energy kind of step up a little bit. Like this part of you is a circle that's getting a little bigger. And this is the part of you that can have compassion for both the part of you that's feeling hesitant. It really loves that part of you. It really has full compassion for that. And you can even take that right arm and almost like hold that part of you against you like it was a younger child. And it also has compassion and love for the part of you that is ready and just wants to move out there and go. And let the right arm maybe kind of hold that part close to you. This is the part of you that has room for both. It's also the part of you that can step up and listen and have access to some wisdom or perspective. So take a minute and let this part of you speak. Stand in this very present and centered place in you. Feel your heart open. And let this part of you speak and hear it out. And take whatever time you need for that. The important part on this part is to actually feel your heart open. And once you feel like you've stepped into that and really heard that part of you out, then you begin to feel your feet on the ground or your seat in the chair and see the light through your eyelids. And when you're ready, open your eyes, whatever timing feels good. And the last step that can be helpful on this one, depending on your style, is actually to write some of those things down, to write out some of the words that might have come, or if there were images, if you're very visual. And I've sometimes in a workshop or something, I'll have people actually create a visual that captures all three of those wisdoms, and often the way they're held together. So I'd be interested to hear, what was there for you?
That was a powerful process, because a lot of times I like try to honor where I am, but I never honor the different parts of me.
Yeah.
And
they're kind
giving
of like
attention to the different parts. And so I really felt that I was allowing myself to feel like, the pull from the past, and wait a minute, you're not done, and the pull from the future.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I want to move forward. And then being in the center and coming into the center, honoring the whole space and the whole process was powerful. So for me, the past work was beautiful, because a lot of times we get so caught up in this argument inside of ourselves of either let go or stay, but sometimes we just need to feel.
Yeah.
What do we feel about that? And, it brought tears. There's some things that I didn't want to let go yet completely, or I felt judgmental about myself or what I was doing.
Yeah.
And just allowing that emotion to flow because of the work that I've done before.
Yeah.
Emotions, it was nice, even a very short period of time.
Yeah, I know that was.
But if I had a lot more time, I could see how this can go even deeper.
Yeah.
And then the future, even though it wasn't 100% clear in that, I did hear a voice. I saw this blue light, this energy.
Yeah.
And I heard, Ron, what you love most is to love. And make that a part of where you're going, is to deepen and allow your expression of love in the world.
Yeah.
And you're ready for this, Ron. You're ready to step out and share this part of you. And even though it wasn't completely like, this is what you do, it was so powerful and nurturing and pulling.
Yeah.
And then when I stepped inward and embraced both parts, I felt like it was like my higher self coming out and really holding me.
Yeah.
And it's rare to feel that. I think one of the things that I would love for everyone to feel is themselves holding themselves so powerfully in a space of love, honor, support. Because I think that's what helps me going through my transformation, is that it's great to have all this external help, but to start to feel that you can support yourself and hold yourself in love helps me to grow even more powerfully, so I can hold others and share others how they can do that themselves. So it was amazing. And just honoring where I was.
Yeah. And when you were in that center space where you had room for both, was there any words or messages for you from that place?
There weren't specific words. It was just this feeling like you're exactly where you need to be.
Okay. Nice.
And you're in a powerful place. And every moment has its beauty. Find the beauty in this. And I didn't have to say find the beauty. I just experienced it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had an experience with a client recently, and this is not a calling coach I'm training, but a client who's gone through some big changes. And we kind of got to do this, we didn't do this particular exercise, but she had done such great work and was really clear and was excited to be following some of her clarity. But she had some areas of her life where she had made some commitments for reasons that she felt great about. But she noticed she went through a week where she was feeling really angry because those parts of her life were taking up a lot of time. And she felt like she didn't have time to give to this new part of her that she was wanting to nourish. So she was feeling resentful. And when we stepped back and remembered that these were parts of her life that were in fall, so there, she did have less energy.
Mm-hmm.
But when I talked to her about each one, we touched back into what she was still committed to in those areas and why she chose them and why she wasn't ready to leave them yet. And she really reconnected to her purpose. Even though she was in fall, she connected to the purpose that remained and the kind of way she wanted to complete those things.
Mm.
And you could feel her, as we talked about that, you could feel that realignment, that she realized that this wasn't competing with the part of her that was so committed to following that new fire that she had and the new direction she was excited about. So suddenly they could coexist.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me, she said the next week, she said, I'm so at peace with that. She said, all that anger went away. Because, and we also talked about the ways that those commitments she was finishing up, that she was in fall with, we started to see all the ways that those were actually nourishing and actually places that they were feeding some of the new things and supporting that. So suddenly they weren't in conflict. Suddenly they were all about the same thing.
Beautiful.
And that was nice to see the shift and for her to make that.
It's like she realized that it is one path, not two.
Yes, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that, and she felt at peace with herself, with her choices, like she wasn't fighting herself.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
So at home, if you didn't have that opportunity to give yourself the space so you can pause it and give yourself more time, I encourage you to do that, because this is such a powerful exercise to help you feel okay where you are and to get that wisdom of what's pulling you back and what's pulling you forward. And then also coming back to center, to honor both parts of you and to find that part of you that can make sense of it all. So thank you, Rick, for that powerful exercise.
You're welcome. The principle in it is begin where you are, and that where we are right now has everything that's needed to move forward in any creative cycle.
I love that. Beautiful wisdom to leave our guests today.
All right. I've enjoyed this time with you, Ron.
Thank you, Rick. In this world, there's just so much pressure. And in life, there's so many things, so many pieces that need to come together for us to really experience and be in that place of success. But one thing that I've learned is that the most important part of this journey isn't trying to build as fast as we can so we can reach our goals as quickly as possible. This is not a race. It's about building your practice, your business, your message around who you are at your core. And in the last 8 episodes, we focused solely on building a powerful foundation so that you can build your business, your practice, your talents, your gifts, the way that you're coming out in the world and serving on a foundation that's solid. Because when you're being pulled by your life, by your expectations, by your desires, by your fears, by all of the forces that act upon you the instant you wake up from bed, the most powerful thing that you can do when you're feeling off-centered and imbalanced is to learn how to come back to center, to ground yourself in that powerful foundation. What I want to leave you with are 4 key lessons that we learned in the last 8 episodes. And these lessons help create a more powerful foundation for you to live by so that your business, so that your practice, so that your message is firmly rooted in a foundation that is strong, centered, authentic, powerful. Question number 1. Are you living from your core, your soul, the center of who you are, the truest part of you? Question number 2. Are you connected to your powerful purpose and the vision that you hold for yourself that give clarity to the direction that you're moving towards? Question number 3. Do you know when you're externally driven by life, by society, by information, by people trying to sell you something or trying to accentuate an aspect of one of your values so you can see that as more important than other things in your life? And can you come back to center to get a perspective of your life and come from that place of what is most important for you right now and today? Question number 3. Are you aware of where you are in your journey? The forces that are pulling on you, your past, your future, and how to best support you in that moment. To honor where you are in that journey and give yourself what you need. Do you see how powerful these lessons are? How powerful these questions are? Because no matter where you are in your life, in your business, with your practice, with your speaking as a messenger, your ability to support you, to be centered and to feel and know that you're exactly where you need to be. And if you're being pulled, to take that into account, to know and understand that there are directions that you can move forward from. But it all starts with being here, being now, present, aware, grounded in yourself. And if you were to take one thing from this journey, it is knowing yourself and adding to your life a time for you to connect with you. It is finding that ritual, finding that practice, and integrating it to your routine so that you can build the powerful relationship with yourself as we move forward in this journey. The assignment for you this week is to find that practice, to find that way to continually build that relationship, to come back to center, to strengthen your connection with your soul, to become aware if you're being externally driven or coming from your core and moving your life forward from there. And to also have this perspective of where you are and always honoring and knowing that wherever it is, you're exactly where you need to be. So I hope that you had learned to build a powerful foundation from the last 8 episodes, because in the next weeks and months, we're going to start to build what I call your transformational ecosystem. They're all the little pieces and things that you need so that your message is powerfully supported and being able to sustain that lifestyle and thrive to create a powerful practice, powerful message, ways that you can connect with your people, the people that you serve, so that you can powerfully share your gifts and make that impact in the world that you so much know in your heart and soul you're here to make. So keep shining your light, and remember this week to build that practice, build that muscle of connecting with your foundation. Make sure it's strong.